The entire European Union may be under the threat. Unidentified drones have been spotted over Belgium and Germany, raising alarms in Brussels. The European Commission says it's time to build a drone wall, one that would shield not just the bloc's eastern flank but all EU nations. On the evening of October 2nd, the mystery drones first appeared in Belgian skies, circling about the Elsborn military base near the German border. Witnesses say around 15 devices hovered over the area before reportedly crossing into German airspace. Belgium's defense ministry has launched an investigation. For now, it remains unclear who sent the drones, where they came from, or even what type of aircraft they were. Meanwhile, in Germany, Munich airport has been forced to suspend operations twice in just 2 days. The first disruption occurred on October 2nd, and barely 24 hours later, drones were spotted again. The latest drone incursion forced 23 incoming flights to be redirected, 12 cancelled entirely, and 46 departures either cancelled or postponed to October 4th. In neighboring Czechia, no drones have been confirmed, but Prague airport received an anonymous threat warning of potential drone activity. Police, supported by the military, immediately deployed enhanced security measures across the airport. The European Commission says these incidents highlight the urgent need for a continent-wide defense system to safeguard EU skies from unidentified aerial threats.
Let me start by saying that this shows once again that the entire European Union is at risk. So we are, of course, aware of what is happening in our member states. We have, of course, political exchanges with our member states. Now it's for them to carry out the investigation. We have always been clear from this podium that it's for member states to carry out the investigations and to identify from where these drones were coming and what the risks are that could be posed rather to these member states. Now, that being said, this highlights once again also what the President and what Commissioner Kubilius have been saying also in Denmark, that such a drone wall would protect the entire European Union. You need a 360-degree approach.
At the same time, Ukraine is urging Europe to take the existential threat from Russia seriously. In an interview with The Guardian, Ukrainian Deputy Foreign Minister Serhiy Kyslytsya warned that recent drone incursions by Russia into several EU countries were carefully calculated attempts to push red lines. He suggested that Russia's next moves will depend on whether Europe and the US administration demonstrate collective resolve. Without decisive transatlantic response, Kyslytsya predicted Putin is likely to escalate the escalation, taking further actions aimed at destabilizing and paralyzing the continent.
Many politicians are still keeping in their heads in the patterns and algorithms of the last century, where a war means boots on the ground and tanks moving in. In the 21st century, you don't need tanks to put technologically advanced countries on their knees. Cyber war is a reality. Howitzers are not necessary to paralyze the banking system. By using drones in a smart way, you can achieve your goals better than with a nuclear bomb.
Meanwhile, Denmark has reported systematic provocations by the Russian Navy in the Danish Straits connecting the Baltic Sea and the North Sea. Danish military intelligence says Russian warships have repeatedly carried out provocative maneuvers in these key waterways. Reuters cited Thomas Arnekel, head of Denmark's Defense Intelligence Service, in reporting the incident. Arnekel noted that Russian warships have repeatedly come closer to colliding with the Danish naval vessels, pointed weapons at helicopters and interfered with navigation systems. He warned that such incidents create a real risk of accidental escalation.
We have seen several incidents in the Danish Straits where Danish Air Force helicopters and naval vessels have been targeted by tracking radars and physically pointed at with weapons from Russian warships.
He also pointed to a Russian ship that had anchored in Danish water for more than a week, suggesting Moscow could intervene if Denmark tries to restrict the movement of Russia's so-called shadow fleet. Danish intelligence has also tracked Russia's warships passing through the straits with sonar and jamming equipment on board. Article said it is highly likely that in at least one case these ships jammed signals, disrupting GPS across Denmark. According to Danish intelligence, Russia is waging a hybrid war against Denmark and the wider West. Still, the agency stressed there is no immediate military threat to Denmark. Ukrainian drones have once again targeted strategic facilities in Russia's Leningrad region. Eyewitnesses reported hearing explosions overnight on October 4th. Later, Governor Alexander Drozdenko said air defenses shot down 7 drones. The latest drone attack hit Kyiv, an oil refinery in Kirishi. Social media reports suggest drones struck the refinery's processing units. Kyiv is Russia's second-largest refinery after Omsk, and it was already targeted just 3 weeks ago. On September 14th, drones caused explosions and a fire at the plant. After the latest strike, Reuters reports that the refinery had to shut down a unit responsible for nearly 40% of its capacity. Located roughly 500 miles from the Ukrainian border, the refinery's latest hit is a major event. Ukrainian's general staff has confirmed the drone attack on the Kirishi refinery and provided updates on other operations by the Ukrainian armed forces. In Russia's Republic of Karelia near Lake Onega, a small missile ship, the Buyan M, was reportedly damaged. The extent of the damage is still being assessed. Elsewhere, Ukrainian forces struck a HARM radar complex and a loading vehicle for the Iskander missile system in Russia's Kursk region. In addition, a command post of Russia's 8th Army, stationed in temporarily occupied territory in Donetsk, was hit. Ukrainian officials say their target was successfully destroyed, with the result still being confirmed. Drone attacks on Russia are not slowing down. Russian media reports that Sochi was hit by drones while President Vladimir Putin was in town for the Valdai Forum, according to the Moscow Times. Around 10:30 p.m., airports in Sochi and Gelendzhik shut down, and just half an hour later, Sochi's mayor Andrei Prushunin confirmed the attack. Residents say air defenses tried to shoot down drones over the Black Sea while sirens blared and explosions were heard across the city. The attack was also confirmed by Dmitry Plishkin, head of the Syria's Federal Territory in Russia's Krasnodar region. Notably, President Putin continued speaking and taking questions at the Valdai Forum plenary session until 10 p.m. Following the strike, Russia's defense ministry claimed, as usual, that 11 drones had been successfully shot down over the Black Sea and that 4 more were destroyed over temporarily occupied Crimea. It's worth noting that Ukraine has not officially claimed responsibility for the Sochi drone attack. Lithuania's Minister of Culture has resigned after refusing to answer a question about Crimea's status. Ignas Adomavičius from the far-right National Union Žinia Numeno called the question provocative and declined to respond. A journalist from Iritas.lt had asked him to clarify Lithuania's position on Ukraine's Crimea, but he did not answer.
These are provocative questions. Let's not even approach them, since we're not talking about the Ministry of Culture right now. Let's not play these games. You see, there's a line you shouldn't cross. This is where you need to stop on these questions.
After the controversy, Lithuania's governing coalition called him to resign as a Minister of Culture, and he stepped down. At a press briefing after his resignation, Adomavičius was asked again about Crimea. This time he said it belongs to Ukraine, but added that sadly it is occupied. When asked why he didn't answer the question earlier, he replied the question needs to be asked correctly. Pressed on whether the journalist from Iritas.lt was to blame for his earlier refusal, he simply said yes. Earlier, his appointment had sparked protests in Lithuania, with critics questioning his competence and far-right party affiliation with National Union Žinia Numeno. A warning strike in the culture and arts sector is set for October 5th, and it will go ahead despite his resignation. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments.